Hey, what's up, guys? Matt Modi with OddsJam. What we're going to do in this video, I got a best bet for tomorrow's MLB betting slate. I'm working with a yes run first inning on this one. But to do a recap, so two of my three plays today have been decided. They were both W's, which is awesome. So as of right now, I'm up 175 on today's bets with 65 pending. So even the worst case scenario, I will have profited over $100 today, which is great. That makes my total profit with baseball betting up to about 167. Obviously, depending on what happens with this play. And more importantly, since my new strategy, I'm up about $280 and about 14% ROI. So very, very excited to see how things are going with this new betting strategy. And I have a play today that is falling within that strategy a little bit. Of course, it's found using the OddsJam positive expected value page. And what we're looking at here is a yes run first inning in the Guardians versus Twins game. So part of my strategy actually doesn't involve betting these. It involves pretty much blindly betting certain situations like first half total runs, certain player props that fit within different parameters. But for videos like this where I'm doing a solo specific play, I do a little bit more research. So like I avoided this one in the Mariners Athletics. I avoided this one in the Dodgers versus Padres, but I identified this one in the Guardians Twins that I actually did really like. So first of all, just want to talk about the math behind it. Of course, it is positive expected value, which is why it's on the positive EV page. The OddsJam line, as we know, which is pulled from the most accurate bookmaker in the world. These are going to be generally the most efficient betting odds. And with the VIG removed is important to do, important to remove the VIG to get a true understanding of what the OddsJam line thinks of this specific market. Essentially, the way it works is all sports books charge a VIG to odds themselves. So like a typical spread or a total, you'll see minus 110 each side, which means that if you bet $110, you would profit 100. So no matter what, if there are two people that each put $110 on both sides, so one bettor bets the over, one bettor bets the under, for every $100 spent, the sportsbook makes $10. So not necessarily fair, but it's how they make their money. So it's important to remove the VIG, which is exactly what is shown here, the no VIG odds, just to get a true understanding. So in this situation, the no VIG odds have it at roughly minus 109. And we are getting it on DraftKings at plus 100. So market width is below 25, which is good to go. Market width, all you really need to know is that it's a way to measure confidence in what the OddsJam line is pricing their lines at. And anything 25 and below is within range. It's also at 4% positive EV. This can essentially be viewed as your profit margin. It's your legitimate mathematical profit margin based on this specific bet, and it's a formula calculated based on the no VIG odds as well as the odds that you are betting it at. So the wider the gap between those two numbers, the bigger your profit margin is going to be. For baseball, I've identified pretty much for a game prop anything 3% and above as a valuable play. So this one being at 4.21% does fit the logic there. Another thing that I like doing, there are two. Number one, I like to just click this little calculator here for a couple reasons. Number one, it tells me how much to wager on this bet. It takes into account my bankroll, takes into account the odds that I'm betting it at, and it takes into account the win percentage. The win percentage is calculated from the no VIG odds, so there are always odds are going to have a win percentage associated with them. Obviously, the steeper the odds, like minus 200, it's going to have a higher chance of occurring than like plus 250, something like that. And that's how this makes sense. So I like to look at the win percentage just to get a general idea of what things are being priced at. And then my amount to wager is based off of this calculator here. So for this play, 4.21% profit margin, I'll go ahead and add that here to come back to later. And this was a $105 bet, which is essentially about 4 units. You can call it a 4-unit play. But before I actually decide to take the bet, what I like to do is look into the markets and see where everything is being priced at. And we see here a pretty big discrepancy in the sportsbook's odds between DraftKings and every other book, including the OddsJam line. So the OddsJam line has it at minus 118. Every other book has it in the minus 1 teens, essentially. They have this bet as more likely to occur than not. Whereas the OddsJam line has it at plus 100, which is essentially a 50-50 win percentage just based on what plus 100 means. So pretty insane value. I like getting situations where we are betting on an outlier. This tells me that this is just a mispriced line that we're taking advantage of, which is exactly what we're doing. So that's the math behind it. Now I do a little bit of handicapping for these plays as well. Not a ton, admittedly. So like one thing that did make me a little nervous were these are two good pitchers. Chris Archer and Shane Bieber are two good pitchers. But I was looking at the NRFI stats, and Minnesota is one of the more yes-run first inning happy teams in the MLB, being at 37 and 33. So like there are some teams in the 40s, but Minnesota has more often than not yes-run first inning. The Guardians are a little bit closer to no-run first inning, which isn't great. But this game is being played in Cleveland, which I don't necessarily know how much stock you can really put into that, but 15 and 11 at home in terms of yes run first inning. So 15 times yes, 11 times no. One thing that did make me actually like this one a lot is both of these pitchers are right-handed pitchers, and I just go to MLB.com. I look up batting stats against right-handed pitchers, and the Twins are third in the MLB, and the Guardians are 13th. So one top five, one top half in terms of batting against right-handed pitchers. Now OPS obviously isn't the end-all be-all. It's just kind of what it defaults to. If you want to go by average, the Twins are 4 and the Guardians are 5. So however you slice it, both teams perform better than average against right-handed pitchers, which is why, for handicapping reasons, I ended up liking this one as well. So it's going to be my official yes-run first inning play for tomorrow. Guardians, Twins. Well, not Twams, Guardians, Twins, yes run first inning. So this is going to be the 30th. The odds are, I put $105 on it at plus 100 odds. So now what I like to do is just calculate what my expected profit in terms of actual dollars is. And you can do that just by multiplying your wager by the percent. So this is obviously going to be close to 4.2%, like 4.3 or something, 4.42. But it's just interesting to see what your net expected profit is versus your actual profit. So for a while, my actual profit was negative while my expected profit was positive. Now I've had a really good past couple days. I mean, since my new strategy, I'm up to 80. Since the 27th, I'm up. I guess that's even worse. But regardless, since the new strategy, I'm up to 80 with my expected profit at only like 110 essentially. So I would expect those numbers to even out over time. But regardless, it's just interesting to see. So anyways, that's going to be it for me. This is going to be my official yes run first inning play, Guardians Twins plus 100 on DraftKings. So if you are tailing, I would love to hear it. Let me know your thoughts on my analysis and my picks in general. Negative feedback is totally fine. I don't mind at all. You can comment on the video with that feedback, or you can hit me up at my Twitter handle, Modi_Matt, which is also on the screen here. Other than that, would appreciate if you could like it, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, and then of course share with your friends to have them roast me as well. But regardless, anyways, that is all I got for this video. So I appreciate you guys watching and for the support, and have a good one.